Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See, that was cute. I did it very cute that time. I'm back. I know y'all like, she always in the car. I'm always on the go. I'm always on the go. I'm just always so freaking busy. Anyway, I had to bring Jordan to aquatic therapy today. So I am sitting in the car because I was looking through my planner, going through some things, trying to get my life together like I always am. So I decided to sit in the car today for a little bit instead of staying inside for the whole session. But let's get down to it. I want to yap about Diddy today. I want to talk about Diddy. And I want to talk about Diddy from a millennial standpoint. And when I say a millennial standpoint, I mean people who are my age. Everything that's been going on lately, whether it be Diddy, R. Kelly, and everybody else, we're finding out who's a monster. This is really breaking down us at the core. And I don't mean like breaking us down where we can't work, we can't eat, we can't sleep. But I'm just saying, like, in our mind, it's breaking us down because, like, we grew up in an era, like, if you were a kid in the 90s, especially, like, if you were born in the late 80s and the early 90s, pop culture, we're the reason that pop culture, in my opinion, we're the reason that pop culture is what it is today, as far as like social media, the interactions with artists. We had True Life on MTV, we had Diary, Making the Video, we had shows like Making the Band, we had all of that. Like, that was the pinnacle of our childhood. So now to see everybody who we idolize, and I know everybody's like, you shouldn't idolize people. Right, we know that now that we're in our 30s. We're talking about, we're kids between the ages of 10 and 16 years old. So, of course, you know, you idolize people. But now we're seeing those people that we idolize as children, and we're finding out that they are complete sexual deviants and monsters. And I will say, even though I was really young when Making the Band came out, I think the first Making the Band came out in 2002, which means I would have been 11 years old. That's crazy, which means I would have been the same age as my oldest child right now. And it's crazy because you don't know much about the world then, but I think that's the first time it went through my head at least a little bit that something was wrong with Diddy. Who texted me? That I knew something was wrong with Diddy. When he made them people walk for that cheesecake, I may have been 11 years old, and depending on what month it came out, I may have been 10 years old. I knew that walking to Brooklyn for cheesecake had absolutely nothing to do with a person gaining a music career. I think that's the first crack. I remember the shooting and with J-Lo and stuff and Shine, but I didn't quite know why he was behind those shenanigans. But when Making the Band came out and he made them people walk for that cheesecake, I knew then he a little off. And then he used to have them sing. I had this conversation with a friend. We just had this conversation, and I'm about to jump 3-4 different, just follow me. And I told her, I was like, you know, poverty is literally like the gateway drug to anything negative in life. And I say that, and this goes with Diddy, because when you look back on that show, especially when it started getting down to the nitty gritty, most of the people who was making it to the end of that show, like, was facing really bad poverty at home, or had very bad home, like, even if they had like a middle class upbringing, had like some type of trauma in their life. And it's like, when you realize now, he was able to prey on those people, the Making the Bands, the Day 26s, the Danny Kanes. He was able to prey on people who were either poverty stricken, who had a whole bunch of trauma in their background. Because remember Sarah, the singer from the band, remember, she had all this stuff going on with her husband, all the domestic disputes, so that's the trauma. Everybody who he was picking, it's like he knew that he could chip away at them, because it's like, all right, you never came from nothing. So if I throw this in front of you, of course you're gonna bite. You know, when you're in a desperate place, you'll do things that you probably wouldn't do when you weren't as desperate. That's not to say everybody's not gonna do that. But if you look at the patterns and the trends, that's usually how it is. So then now, as a 32, almost 33-year-old, I'm like, this makes him an even worse person, because you know what you was doing? You was preying on people who, like, literally literally you knew that this was most likely going to be their only chance out of the situation that they were in. And that makes it even worse. But I will say, as I've gotten older, once I got older, I realized, I was waiting on a day where he was gonna have a downfall. We all were. And this brings me to another point, another conversation I had with friends. I don't ever want to get to the point where I have so much money, so much fame, so much success. I don't even crave fame. I want the money. But I don't want to get to a point where I have the best resources in life and I can't be controlled. Because when you think about it, like these celebrities, think about some of the lawsuits we've heard over the years. Like, think about it where it's like, oh, they bring in drugs and people to houses, they having sex, and the person like, oh, I ain't know they was gonna drug me, oh, I ain't know this was gonna happen. I don't want to ever get to a level where, like, there's levels to freakiness, you know what I'm saying? And most of the time you can find somebody who's willing to be just as freaky as you want to be with them, and that's cool. That's consent. It's consent, people. I feel like my lips look dry. That's because my first set of wore off my little lips. Sorry. But yeah, like, how freaky do y'all want to get? How freaky do y'all need to get? Like, and then the money and stuff, like people say, I've never been under pressure of a billionaire. I don't know any billionaires. And because people will be like, well, they were grown and they were this. You get intimidated by your manager who makes $20,000 more than you. So imagine being around somebody who has the power to do anything. This man blew up somebody's car. This man literally blew up somebody's car. So I hate when people are like, no, you have a choice. You do have a choice. But if you've never been up under that kind of pressure, like, just don't answer on what you would do. Hopefully you would, stand up for yourself going against a billionaire, a maniacal billionaire who will kill you. But most of us ain't never been under pressure from a billionaire who could really ruin our lives if they wanted to. I don't know. That rich and famous shit ain't nothing cute about that shit no more. Y'all sexual deviants. Y'all souls are tarnished. And I ain't gonna say everybody, because I don't personally know them people. I'm talking about the stuff that's been proven. Y'all sexual deviants. Y'all soulless. Y'all lost sight of what it is. Can't nobody tell you no. R. Kelly. That's the thing, you got the money, ain't nobody gonna tell you no, especially if you signing people paychecks. So then people like, damn, if I don't do this, I'm back to what? Nothing. Who wants to have nothing? Nobody. So they're not right. They're not right at all. But it's just like, I never want to get to that level where can't nobody tell me no, where I'm crashing out, especially over some sex. And that's my whole thing. Like, go find a freaky motherfucker who down for whatever you down for. That's it. And y'all can do all the crazy shit you want to do. Y'all want to have sex on top of the roof while you're pumped up with drugs. You can just get somebody who wants to do that. But it's about power. So that's why you want to make someone do something, that they're not used to, because you get off from that power, the ego. I hate it. I hope they open like a performing arts prison, because a lot of people gonna go down after this. A lot of people are gonna go down. So may as well, like, they can be like a performing arts prison, and then you can like make them like perform or something without pay, and use, they don't get paid, but use all the proceeds to like fund sex trafficking funds and non-profits. I think that'll be good. But other than that, it's sick. And then I don't understand how these people be doing this and they have children. Like, a lot of decisions I make now, I think about, like, what would my kids think about me? Y'all don't think about y'all kids? I never want my children to be embarrassed by me. Like, never. People be out here caring about what other people say. At this point in life, I care about what my children think of me. I don't know. It's sick. It's nasty. And the only advice I have for y'all is be freaky with people who want to be freaky with you. If you gotta drug a person, if you gotta make a person drink all this alcohol, if you gotta roofie a person, it's not worth it, honey. Find somebody who want to match your freak. And that's on Tinashe. Y'all be blessed.